How I use new media technologies in the construction, research and planning and evaluation stages. Well, first off, in the research and planning stage, I use many new technologies. First off, I use Blogger. Blogger is a website that can record my findings from my research. This meant I could research the codes and conventions of, say, local newspapers and post it to my blog. It was eco-friendly because instead of writing all the information down on paper, you could just write it straight onto your blog, which was on the internet. This meant I knew where all my research was and meant that I couldn't lose any of it. Also, a blogger has a good feature where other people can see your research. This means that other people can learn from your mistakes or your research. Blogger has also allowed me to put images and videos onto my blog. I also used YouTube in most of my research. YouTube is very handy to find different types of radio advertisements for my ancillaries. I could also listen to other radio adverts that students had made and radio adverts that were put onto live radio. YouTube was a great source of examples for me, and this helped me find the codes and conventions that I would need for my radio advertisement. The next technology is Windows Movie Maker. This was one of the most used technologies throughout my media coursework. I use this software to create podcasts and descriptive videos that can be seen throughout my blog. Windows Movie Maker was able to post my videos straight onto YouTube via my Hotmail and YouTube accounts. This helped me become more creative in my work. Although halfway through my coursework I was told that my podcast and videos were quite boring and did not keep you listening, so because of this I added a visual aid. I did this by going back into Windows Movie Maker and adding images over audio. Windows Movie Maker also had the function where you could use the webcam on your laptop as a video camera. I used this to record my descriptive videos. Blogger had a similar function, but its quality was not up to standard, so I had to go back to using Windows Movie Maker. This technology has also been able to edit the videos once I had filmed them. Music Maker MX. This software in particular I paired up with Windows Movie Maker, although this software was mainly used to record the audio for my podcasts. I would record the audio on this software and then transfer the audios to Windows Movie Maker. This software's original function was to make music, so because of this it had effects that can help manipulate audio. Although the effects were there, I did not use them, because I wanted my voice to be natural. Once I had recorded the audio, all I had to do was audio mix down the sound to a WAV file. Now all I had to do after that was click on Add Music in Windows Movie Maker. Doing this meant that I was using two technologies together to create a more professional podcast. The next two technologies I only used a couple of times, and they are Scribd, which is a website that can transfer Microsoft PowerPoints to my blog. Scribd is a third-party site. I had to create an account and then I could upload PowerPoints to my account. This meant that my PowerPoint was given its own web page so other people could open it. I also used my email account when doing my research. When carrying out the target audience research, I use emails to contact the editor of our county's local newspaper company. Using this website, I could get all the information I need. When doing the construction stage, using new technologies was key success to my coursework. First technology I used, and I used a lot through my construction, was Photoshop. Photoshop is one of the best programs to use for my newspaper work, and is for many media, magazines and newspapers around the board. It helped me obtain the quality I needed. Before being sent the work, I had never used Photoshop, but when going through the construction stage, Photoshop became easier. I think this is because the whole program is easier to navigate around when you know what you need to do. But also, the internet played a good role in teaching me things I did not know about the program. I could create a template for my work and then just add the content when I had it. I used Photoshop to create my newspaper and my billboard poster. Once I had put the image onto Photoshop, I was able to add effects which helped me improve or enhance the image. For example, I used effects on Photoshop to enhance the fire on the front page. Although, one thing Photoshop did not have was a spell checker, which would have been handy as it would have reduced the amount of times I had to check my work for spelling and grammar. The next software I used was Cubase 4, and this was to create my radio advertisement. This software is an industry standard software that is used to record music. For my AS work, I used this software to create my radio news report. My actors' voices were picked up by a microphone, a condenser microphone, which picks up a high range of frequencies, which is unlike a dynamic microphone. My act was recorded in a recording studio. This software has helped considerably in the creation of my radio advertisement, and I have learned new techniques from that I did not know in AS. I also used Music Maker MX in construction, which is the same as I did in the evaluation. I used Music Maker MX to record my guitar for the radio advertisement. I used Music Maker MX because it was handy. It was a portable software which I had on my laptop, which I could transport around, and it wasn't precisely detailed, but it picked up the sound, and then once on Cubase I could improve the sound. I also used a Nikon camera to capture my images. Now on to the evaluation of my media coursework. The technology I used for my evaluation is SurveyMonkey, Prezi, Windows Movie Maker, and Last.fm. SurveyMonkey is a website that can create surveys. It creates the survey online and gives it its own link. This link can now be opened by my target audience. I also use social networking sites like Facebook to get people to complete my survey. This is why the internet can be useful in carrying out my target audience research. SurveyMonkey can also show my answers in these surveys, and they are displayed as graphs and the answers that people gave. Prezi is a site that can present your presentations online, but in a creative way. For my evaluation, I used Prezi to explain my ideas. Prezi is a software that can zoom in and out of slides. This means it has made the way I show my evaluation more creative. Once I had my Prezi done, I just had to post a link onto my blog. Windows Movie Maker. I've used this software when showing the example of my radio advert. I've also used Music Maker MX because I have recorded podcasts like you're hearing now using Music Maker MX. The last technology I used is Last.fm. I have used Last.fm to present my radio advertisement for my survey in SurveyMonkey. This was a good way of presenting my work.